and welcome to our What's Your Story podcast. I'm Missy Day.
I am Michelle Housebeck.
And with us today is our guest, a friend of ours, Sandy Tabola. So welcome to the show, Sandy.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. So keeping with the theme of our podcast being stories, I know you have a cool story about how you started your journey into health and wellness.
Yes. Well, my story started when I was a little girl, and I grew up in kind of a dark home. My dad was very abusive, and the bright spot in my life was food. And so we had what I affectionately now refer to as the birthday party diet. And my one grandpa was the superintendent of Denver's Coke plant. I always say the liquid kind. And then my other grandpa was an ice cream and dairy man. And we had all kinds of treats, soda in the garage. I don't remember drinking water as a child. I don't remember having to ask permission. I just remember always having a soda going in me. And so it was fun until that diet started taking its toll on family members. And I noticed at 17, my favorite man in my whole life, my grandpa, passed away of colon cancer. And I actually started doing a little research then, like what went wrong, but I didn't stick with it. And fast forward many years later, I'm developing blood sugar issues and all kinds of autoimmune and sinus infection issues, and I had a son who at 10 had an ear infection for a solid year. Whoa. And that's when I started doing my research. I took him to a holistic chiropractor who was the first one to tell me about the connection between what we eat and our immune system. And she told me if I could get enough fruits and veggies in him, then his immune system would kick in. And she looked at me and said, and you would feel better too. And so we started, and I took all kinds of classes. And what really helped me was learning a simple way to change our diet and what we could do. And I will say that the hardest part for me was actually making the changes. Mm-hmm. I was so entrenched with what I called the SAD, the standard American diet, that it was hard to make. And I had addictions, food addictions. Sugar was a really tough one for me to break. And soda was a tough one for me to break. I had made changes and was eating pretty healthy and still sneaking my diet soda. And so as I became a health educator and really had some great mentors, developed what I call the addition method, where you're adding all the healthy stuff in. If I'm concentrating on that and not concentrating on what I'm having to give up, that really helped me. And so adding more water, and finally the diet soda got squoze out because I'm drinking, half my body weight in ounces of water. And I don't tell people to do that, right away, but just keep adding more water. Same with plants. And what really helped me with the plants, eating more fruits and veggies, because I just didn't like them, was a friend introduced me to a plant powder, a concentrated plant powder in capsules. And it just made it so much easier because it kind of bridged the gap. But after a while, our taste started changing. And that was 27 years ago. And of all the hacks, I will always keep that one. And then, just adding more of the healthy stuff, finding some healthy, simple recipes really helped me. And now I'm able to, share those with others. So that's kind of what started me on my journey. And the more I learned, the more my passion for it grew. 60 to 90% of all of our diseases, they have found our link somewhere to our diet and that we can prevent them.
Well, they say like your gut is your second brain, right? It
Yes.
kind of runs everything.
Yes.
So how did you make the transition to being vegan?
Okay, that was even slower. I would say that probably took 20 years. But what happened was my taste started changing. So the more plants I got in my body, the more plants I wanted. I was craving. And then I'm learning also. And so I learned some of the dangers of too much animal protein and also the chemicals and things that so I tell my clients, if you eat meat, be sure that you get it as clean as possible. Without the 75% of the antibiotics that are developed are made for or are put in our animals to keep them from giving us diseases. So we're ingesting that. So getting it, grass-fed and without the chemicals, herbicides, antibiotics, all of that, I think is super important. So I don't tell everyone they need to be vegan. It's just what helped me. And I would probably still be doing dairy because of my roots, but because of all my sinusitis, the molds and everything, it was just important for me to give that up. So there we go.
Do you know if the meat that has all the antibiotics in it, right, that we're ingesting, does that have anything to do with, this seems to be on the uptick, both animals and humans, of the antibiotic resistant viruses? Have you done any research?
I have, and absolutely. And then even the what is it called? Oh my gosh, the soaps and things that we use.
Antifungal, antimicrobial.
Yeah, all of that. That also, that's killing so much. And there's good bacteria that we need that fight the bad. And so that's super important. And Missy mentioned the gut. So we want to feed the gut with healthy bacteria and probiotics and prebiotics. So a high fiber diet. And that's why I'm not really into the paleo, because if we're not eating fiber, we're not feeding those good gut bacteria. And so the antibiotics that we're ingesting, whether it's through animals that have been fed that or we're doing it ourselves, are killing off the good.
So I didn't understand. I never knew really what the paleo diet was. So it's like no fiber?
Well,
or low fiber?
No grains.
Oh.
And no beans, legumes, nuts. Those are all high fiber, which are
So
great
what does
prebiotics.
it tell you to eat? Like what's the...
It's a lot of animal, and then you can eat vegetables.
Okay.
But they're not always the highest in fiber vegetables either. Or that's not, from the people that I know that are doing paleo, that's not their focus.
Okay.
Interesting. So then what would you say, what are your thoughts on keto?
Same way with keto. When you focus on eating a lot of protein, mostly animal protein, you turn your body acidic. And the body says, no problem, I will neutralize. And so it pulls calcium, minerals from the bones to neutralize, because your body has to be at a certain pH. So, and it also, that then goes through the gallbladder, the kidneys. It's just, not really good for us at all. The organs in the long run suffer.
So you're plant-based, right? Mostly?
Correct.
So do you think you could just eat plants?
I'm if you're listening, you can't see my face. I'm in deep thought.
And I always say, don't even worry about that. Do the addition method. Just add more plants. I don't think everyone needs to be vegan, but we all need a lot more plants.
Yeah.
And as we focus on that, I think the rest takes care of itself.
What do you think that you can notice, and I'd say mentally and physically, what are the two biggest changes that you've seen in your own body since you did go vegan?
Well, I haven't had to watch every bite that goes in for my weight, so it's really helped me with my weight. Although you can be vegan and overweight too if you're focusing on too many carbs.
Right.
And especially because donuts can be vegan, right?
Oh, I'm in. Hold on. I have to press my button. I got to find it. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
And then energy, just having so much more energy. I mean, I turned 64 in a month, almost, a little more than a month. And I have more energy than I did ever at when I described myself before I started my change, I felt old and frumpy. I thought that the most energetic, fittest part of my life was probably over. And I am just so grateful for the changes that I made. And that's why I'm passionate about encouraging others to just start on that road. And one of the things that I offer, and they can go to my website and sign up for any of this, is some great free resources. We have some healthy cookbooks on there. And also, I do like little texts every week. I do a joy series for people that need a little more joy. And after the pandemic and everything, I found that this was encouraging to people and myself. So every Monday, I text out a faith-based joy message. On Wednesday, it'll be a wellness tip. And on Friday, it will be a healthy recipe. So there's those, and then some other. There's an aging class that I do. There's all kinds of resources on there. But I just love encouraging people.
And what is that website?
It is pyby.club, and it's to join the club of pursuing your best you.
So PY
by.club.
.club. Mm-hmm. And what does that stand for?
Pursuing your best you.
Oh, there you go.
I think I forgot to mention that earlier on, but that's what I want to encourage people to do, is pursue it. It's never too late to pursue your best you and to get in that club.
So let's talk for a second about your TikTok influencer status.
You mean I'm an agent of the Chinese? Well, it just started having a lot of fun on TikTok. And I, to encourage other people to have fun and also pursue their passion.
How many followers do you have?
Oh, I have it's like 7,500. It's not a ton.
It's a lot. You're so fun, and I still don't. Sandy tried to help me one day, and so I was just like, I am so lost. I don't even know, how do you because you do all those things with different voices, and you have the filters, and you have all this stuff going on, and I'm just like, holy cow.
Well, I will tell you, that's one of the reasons why I like TikTok, because it's all in there. Mm-hmm. And you can find we call it a viral sound, but you can find a sound that fits whatever your mood is. And then you slow it down. When you're ready to record it, lip sync it. I don't record, I lip sync. Grown adult here. And so what I do is I slow it down, and then I listen to it a couple of times, and then I'm able to say it. And then I do try and do my own voice also, so people know that, and something that's really important to me. I did one recently on life, and being pro-life, because I think that's super important. I want to speak out, though, in love, not judgmental for anyone, but speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves. And then be faithful to it. It's faithfulness, mercy, and justice are the three tenets that I try and stick by when I'm on TikTok. Recently, my 9-year-old granddaughter grabbed my phone and said, "I want to see your TikToks," because she's on some of them. And it was a good feeling to let her have the phone and her watch my TikToks, because I'm not going to do something that has profanity. I'm not going to do something that is just unkind or judgmental of others. Right. She did get a little earful of my political views, but even then I try and stay as positive as possible.
Which is hard in this climate, so.
So if people want to learn how to be their best self, or they want wellness information, or if they want to learn more about TikTok, how do they get a hold of you?
Okay, well, there's ways to get a hold of me on the website, but you can also text 725-225-0605 and just text me, and I will get a hold of you.
Awesome. We're so glad you could join us today.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much. And thank you for joining us. If you're just listening, thank you for listening. And And how do we get hold of you, Michelle Housebeck?
You go to my brand new shiny website, which is housebeckbrand.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that wraps it up. Thank you very much for joining us today.